understand why we lift our hands and sing praises. And people can't comprehend that when we dance we're not crazy. See, maybe they don't realize that sitting high is the Father. And this is what we were created for, nothing less or more.
Jonathan McReynolds has quickly become one of America's most sought-after gospel artists, debuting in the top 5 position on the Billboard Gospel charts, a position that he's held for the past few weeks. He stopped by Houston, Texas to talk with us about his latest album, Life Music. Thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me, man.
All right, no problem. Okay, I listened to your project, and I'm a traditional person, but when I listened to it, I actually liked the project, and I was like, okay, well, I can, listen to this while I'm driving around or doing different things. Do you think it's important for artists now to focus on reaching everybody instead of just going the traditional route in gospel music, or are you just trying to focus on a specific kind of group?
I'm not really trying to focus on anybody. Just do it the way God gave it to you. He's given people some great traditional style gospel voices, and he didn't give me that type of voice, man. Sometimes I wish I could, but just do you and do what God has called you to do, and he'll make room for it.
Okay, and you were born in Chicago, so how was that growing up in gospel music city?
Well, you know what, I grew up in a gospel music city, but I did not know much about the gospel world. I was kind of I stayed at my church, just kind of an island. I knew what songs we were singing, but it wasn't until I got older that I really started to, study and realize that some of the songs I was singing, the Tommies did it or Soul Children did it, and realized that I came from such a rich gospel city.
So, what's some of the artists in Houston? Because we have Yolanda Adams, Kim Burrell. Do you have any favorite Houston gospel artists?
Oh, Kim Burrell's one of my favorite artists, period, man. Who else is out here? Is Zacardi out here too? Zacardi's that's a singer right there. All singers love Zacardi. And of course James is out here, and that's my label mate. Great guy, on and off stage. So of course, Houston, y'all got it good out here.
I cannot tell if all he supplies my every need. I cannot.
We see that your project is also number 4 on the iTunes chart right now. How does it feel to have a charting project just debuting this week?
Man, it's crazy. I'm surprised by all of this. I never expected to be an artist, and so I never expected, of course, to be a successful artist, but I just know that when God does things, he does them well. And he told me that I wouldn't even believe how many records this thing will sell, and I'm amazed by it, man. So I'm just watching it come to pass.
I don't want to keep going to church, singing all about how much you're worth, and then continue doing my dirt, living as if I didn't care if you're hurt. Cause if it's God that I'm after.
Okay, and the song No Gray. When I first heard the song, like I said, I'm a traditional person. So when I listened to it, I was like, what is this? What's going on? Because it started off with the beat that was, kind of like neo-soul, kind of coffee shop kind of thing. I was like, what's this? And then I started listening to it and paying attention to the words. And it really touched me when I listened to the full song. Do you think that holiness is something that should be focused or pushed more in gospel music, especially for our younger people?
Well, you know what? I'm just singing the messages that God gave me to sing. When I wrote that song, I wasn't thinking about, the holiness or hell Kojic mantra. I was just thinking about my own battle, understanding, that I did come from, a church. I did have a childhood in church. I was almost born in church. And, I had, there was a way that I knew that I was supposed to be living my life, living a life of love for God. And when you live a life of love for God, it does look certain. There's certain things that are in it, and there's certain things that are certainly not in it. And so I just believe that, as a artist, somebody that, gets a platform to share words from God, I believe that we should, talk about life. We talk about what, God is doing a lot. We talk about how able he is, and he is really able. but he's also, giving us a comforter, giving us, Holy Spirit that, allows us to do and control ourselves in certain ways as well, so that we represent him well. And, all things are lawful, but some things just aren't expedient. Some things are just not beneficial for us to be doing. And, that's, No Gray really didn't start off like that. It was just my testimony. But, I'm thankful that people, that's what they're getting from it, is to live a holy life.
You've been so good to me, I must admit. When I think of your goodness, it gets hard to sit in times like these.
What are some of your musical inspirations? Because I was listening to everything, and somehow, I don't know how, but the vocals were cut out of the song. And I was just listening to the track, like the instruments, and it sounded like Quincy Jones type stuff. I don't know, it was something about it that reminded me of Quincy Jones. Like, what's some of your musical inspirations?
Well, I have a whole bunch of music inspirations, man. And for that song, actually, I did that in Europe with a Dutch bass player, a Dutch guitar player, a German drummer. So, and it's amazing how much they study American music. So I imagine, Quincy Jones and some of the old Motown, motifs were still in their head when they were playing that song. So it was amazing how that came out. But, honestly, I've listened to so much music has poured into me over my lifetime. Bob Dylan, N.D.R.E., John Mayer, Kim Burrell, Smokey Norfolk, John Legend, Music Soul Child. These are all people that maybe if I don't listen to, all the secular music that I used to listen to now, but it's still, I know that it's affected, the way I approach music. And certainly going to college for music and listening to Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney and everybody, that's also changed as well.
Also, do you think it's important to study music? Well, a lot of musicians, a lot of vocalists, do you think it's important to go to school or get formal training?
It's not necessary all the time, but I do think that it adds a polish sometimes. It never hurts to know. It's almost like, would you rather your preacher go to seminary or just, you know what I'm saying? It just adds a different approach, a different look at something. And I'm thankful for that because it really did change, the way I thought about music. And maybe that's why it sounds so different, is because it's tempered by, I'm thinking about, my songwriting in a different way. I'm thinking about, my musical theory in a different way. Absolutely.
Okay. And Life Music is the title of your project. Who came up with that title? Is that something you came up with, and what's behind that?
Well, I came up with that because, the music that I was writing, I realized that, it wasn't the same as, a lot of gospel music. The actual subject matters that I attacked. It was literally about the ups and downs, the good and bad of living Christian life, and especially, I always say, Monday through Saturday. Sunday is a very ideal experience and a very ideal day for Christians. We all go to church and it's normal and we put our suits on and it's fun, it's great. But, our Christianity kind of fades out into blackness sometimes Monday through Saturday. And so that was, that struggle and noticing how it faded out in me is why I wrote this music out of. And that's why I call it Life Music.
Okay, great. On social networking sites, like how can we get in contact with you?
Oh man, I'm on Twitter, John McReynolds, Jon McReynolds, McReynolds. You can also search my name on Facebook. I have a couple pages on Facebook. And also you can go to jonathanmcreynolds.com for all the tour dates, all the, booking form, everything is on jonathanmcreynolds.com, any information that you ever need. And I'm also on Instagram, Social Cam, all that other stuff, all social media'd out. Yes, sir.
All right, well, thank you for joining us with MyHoustonGospel.com.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you for having me, man.
Thanks, John McReynolds.
Best love that I've ever had. I just wanna say that I think it's only